All right, welcome back to the Cage Walk podcast with Kayla, presented by OddSmokerMMA. Tonight, I have Cody Durden here with me tonight. This is such a pleasure and an honor to have you on. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just down here in South Florida, Coconut Creek, training. I've been down here for about, I guess, 3 weeks now. Ready to fight. I'm ready to fight 2 days, so I'm excited.
I mean, I'm looking forward to your fight in Atlanta. That's your home, your home state and stuff. So I know that's going to be
Yeah,
an awesome.
yeah. I mean, to get an opportunity to fight in your hometown, I went to the fight in I think it was 2017. I went to the first UFC fight at the State Farm Arena. That was my first ever event, and I told myself I gotta fight here one day. I gotta fight here, and now it's all coming to fruition. Fighting 45 minutes from my house at the State Farm Arena, June 14th, and I'm excited. I'm having fun in training. I'm still continuing to learn and grow, and yeah, like I said, all I have to do is just stay healthy. I got Saturday will be 8 weeks until the fight, and I'm pumped. Couldn't be more excited.
That's awesome. And I, wow, sorry. Um, that home state feeling, hopefully, you're gonna get all that support out there and hometown love. So
Yeah, and I appreciate you making that design for me. We got some new merch coming out, and yours truly, Kayla, made the design. Uh, it's amazing. Hopefully we get that out by the end of the week, and yeah, it'll be a great shirt for the event. So if you're coming to the event in Atlanta, June 14th, buy the merch, get the merch.
yes, definitely get that merch. Support Cody here. Hopefully, hopefully it will be out tomorrow.
Oh,
Um,
really? Nice.
yeah, if all goes planned, it should be posted and ready to go. And for those wondering where you can get it at millions.co. Just search for Cody Durden and his merch will be up there. And thank you for giving us that opportunity to do that for you. It was definitely fun and definitely can't wait to do more.
Yeah, yeah, that design's awesome. So I can't wait for it to drop, and I'm sure it'll sell.
Oh yeah, definitely. Um, Before we get into some fun questions just outside of MMA, let's talk about. I know you said camp's been great and stuff. Is there anything different about this camp that's making you feel good or better about this upcoming fight than maybe a previous fight? Are we doing anything different?
Yeah, absolutely. So after that loss to Joshua Van, I had fractured my eye in the second round of the fight, and so I needed time to heal, like 8 to 10 weeks to heal. In the meantime, I hit the strength and conditioning really hard, and it ended up rolling over. Well, I didn't know when I was going to fight, so my mentality was just stay on the strength and conditioning, and I did that. I got with a new guy named Troy Quick at Warrior Training Facility in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and man, I got stronger. We really, really focused on the cardio and the strength, and I was every week I was sore, so I did a solid 10 weeks of that on top of my training, but I really emphasized getting stronger and improving my cardio over just going in and sparring. So it was a lot of less sparring and a lot more hitting the weights. So I'm excited about that. And then I went straight into camp. So I came into camp and I was already in great shape, and I can really tell when I'm sparring now and when I'm grappling. Uh, Continuing to improve.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. After each fight, you go back and look, all right, what did I mess up? What can I do to improve? So, I feel like even just training on a daily basis, it's a chance to improve and get even better for that next fight. Um, it was awesome. I did get to see you fight in Nashville. Let me
Yeah.
say that right this time.
Yeah.
And that was a great fight against Jake Hadley. You definitely looked great up there, and you got the win on that. So hopefully I can catch you again in Atlanta. Fingers crossed we can make it. Um,
Yeah.
but that it was definitely cool to see you. Um,
Yeah, that was an exciting fight, and that's what I bring. When I fight, put the right opponent in front of me, and we're gonna have exciting fights, and that's exactly what the last few fights I've been involved in have been. Um, that's why I'm looking forward to this fight. It's a good opponent. He's a heavy hitter. 6 KOs, and he's gonna bring the fight, and so am I.
oh yeah, it's definitely going to be an entertaining fight. I'm really looking forward to that one. For sure. I
Yeah,
love knowing that a fight's going to be entertaining.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um, with camp, what what's the weight cut like for you? What's that process for you? Some people they carry a heavier weight than what their weight class is, and sometimes they do
Yeah,
have um a more difficult weight cut and whatnot. So what are you
right.
looking right now for that?
Yeah, so coming into this fight, I mean, coming into this camp, uh, I was already in shape, so I did put on a little muscle, but that's starting to come off as I'm doing, you know, getting in fight shape and staying, at the dorms here at Coconut Creek and just living and eating and sleeping, thinking about fighting and how I can improve and, how this guy scored on me at practice and how I'm going to score on him next. And, uh, yeah, I would say that it's definitely, it's a hard cut, but I always make weight, I've had 12 fights in the UFC and I've never missed weight. So, this 13th fight, I'm not going to miss weight. I'm going to make weight and get to it.
Yeah, that's hella impressive that I mean, people miss, obviously fighters miss weight occasionally, whatever, but for you to have 12 fights and you've never missed weight, that's awesome. You
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, I'm proud of that. Proud of that. It's the weight cut. The weight cut is one of the hardest things. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
definitely nothing to take for granted.
Yeah, I see. I've never been through it, but from, watching videos and just getting more and more into the MMA world, definitely the hardest part.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but well, everyone remember, um, oh my gosh, why did I forget the date?
June
June
14th.
June 4th. I was about to say the 12th. I'm so sorry. June 14th, you can see Cody on his upcoming fight. I do want to jump in and just kick it, have some fun conversation about life outside of MMA. All these interviews are always about how you started and what, and these questions I'm asking, but I'm only asking because you do have an upcoming fight. But
Yeah, right.
who's Cody outside of MMA?
Man, I'm a huge outdoors guy. Actually, love to hunt, love to fish, and spend time with the family. I got a son, a daughter, and they they keep me busy. So when I'm outside of training, I'm always taking my son fishing or playing outside with my daughter. And yeah, I got the Georgia State record turkey 2 years ago, and I'm kind of pissed that I'm not able to hunt this year because turkey season's from like April 1st to May 15th, I believe it is in Georgia. And I got to go one time. My buddy Dakota Bush came down, drove down to my house on opening season. I think it was like April 1st, and we went hunting twice, and we saw some turkeys, but we weren't able to capitalize. And then I had to come straight down here. So I'm a avid hunter, avid outdoorsman, and I more than likely will outfish you if we ever go fishing.
I'll say I love to fish. Growing up, I wish I would have gone hunting. I've unfortunately never gone, but fishing, I've definitely when I was a kid an avid fisher. Not like you most definitely outfish me, but very peaceful. It's just, I mean, you have to be quiet. You just sit there and wait, but it's definitely a time to relax and just be in the moment, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. I told my son and my wife, she loves to fish as well. I told them, we'd go deep sea fishing after this fight. So we'll do a little short vacation after this fight and see where we're at. And I'm gonna need some much needed family time after this fight camp.
Now, does your family, do they get to travel with you when you go to camp or?
They come down sporadically, for a few days, and then go back. But most of the time, they only come down like once during camp. So I'm fully submerged in fighting and growing as a fighter, and it's the sacrifice because this is how I make money. This is how I put food on the table, and everybody knows when you lose, you only make half of what you're supposed to make. So it's better to get that full paycheck and sacrifice now than only get half.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But even you still get to see them at least once. At least you have that. But the fact that you focus and that's how you provide for your family, that's really really great. Uh,
Yeah,
let's see.
it
But
it
were you gonna say
does.
something?
It does get lonely though. It does, I miss them dearly, and I talk to them every day, but it's not the same as being there with them. Like, hey, we got a fishing pond in our backyard. I'll be like, son, you want to go fishing before dark? And he'd be like, yeah, let's go. But it's gonna pay off though. I'm confident.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you're I think you're definitely one of my favorite fighters. And you're definitely
Thank you.
getting up in rank. So I can't wait to see what your career becomes even more. You know. So
Thank you.
oh, of course. Um, do you go hunting at all in Florida, or are you just strictly down there to train?
No, no, I don't hunt down here. It's funny you say that. The turkey hunting down here is just like so hard. There's so many predators, cougars, alligators, snakes, and I rather not. I'm not trying to get bit
Oh,
by a
when it comes
snake.
to
So
oh, go ahead. Snakes and what?
yeah, yeah, I'm not trying to get bit by no anaconda or attacked by a cougar or some kind of predator out here because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, when I talked to Dakota yesterday, he said it's funny because he's all in. He's like, he doesn't you don't always think about it until you see one, and then you're in that moment, you're like, holy shit, there's a cottonmouth right there, and then every time
Yeah,
you have to like look around. So I don't blame you. I could never. I'm a scaredy when it comes to predators like that. I don't want to be anywhere near it. I love Florida. I love anywhere down south. I love it. The minute I see an alligator or a snake, I'm running the opposite direction.
yeah, yep. I much rather enjoy my time at the beach on my off day. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to beach day. We're actually coming to Florida this weekend, so I'm like super pumped for that. I've much needed some beach time.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Um, let's see. Had another question about it. Oh, um, so I know every fighter they want to fight the champ, obviously, because they want the title themselves. But if you had to pick one person who is no longer in the UFC, who's either retired or in another promotion, who would you want to fight and why?
Hmm, that's a good question. We'll fast forward that to a few weeks from now. We got Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick, and
Yeah.
I fought Jimmy Flick, and he got me in that flying triangle, and left a sour taste in my mouth because I was out striking him 47-7, and then I tore my ACL in that fight. I got pink eye the the day leading up to the first time we were supposed to fight. We weighed in. They called the fight off on Saturday because I had conjunctivitis in my eye, and then they made us fight 2 weeks later, and then I had a broke toe, and then I tore my ACL in the fight, and then I got flying triangled, and then I've gone on to do better things than him. So if he somehow survives against Matt Schnell and stays in the UFC, I would love to run it back with him one day. But
Okay.
only time will tell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That'd be a good one. That's a good. I like that answer. Okay.
I'm gonna bounce his head off the canvas if I fight him again. I promise you.
Okay. Well, the day that fight happens, I will be coming to that fight. Like no if, ands, or buts. I want to see that one in person.
Thank you, thank you.
It's hard to talk crap on him. I just, I'll be honest, I did some work for him as well. We got to
Yeah.
do no merch or anything. It's just, but I mean, I have to watch what I say because I support all fighters. But I would love to see that
No,
fight.
no. I mean, he's not. I mean, it's just a competitive thing. There's nothing against him, you know. I just feel I'm a better fighter. I know I'm a better fighter than him, and I would like to prove it, you know. But as far as Jimmy outside of the cage, I'm sure he's a great father, a good competitor, and yeah,
You
no,
said
it's
bad
not
luck that.
personal. Yeah, it's not personal. So
Yeah, no, but for that fight particularly is just a shitty situation for you. So you want to come back and prove yourself, and there's nothing
yeah,
wrong with that at all. Um,
yeah,
yeah, that'd be that.
exactly.
I can totally see that fight. I like that. Um, okay, so weight cut and stuff. Do you have a go-to food or a favorite food that you like to eat after weigh-ins?
Oh yeah. So I usually go Friday night and have a steak dinner, and that's been my thing, you know, since I got in the UFC is go get a steak, rehydrate up, and put a little bit of weight on.
I
Can't
can't go wrong with steak.
No, you can't go wrong with a ribeye.
No, that's definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, I could eat steak all the time.
It's great. Love it.
Yeah. What's it like, training with these fighters, like Kayla Harrison? I saw the video of you and her today on Instagram. Dustin Poirier, Gamrot, all these people, who've been around for a while. I know Kayla's new to UFC, but I mean, she's been in the fight world. Um, so what do you learn from them? What's the best part of being able to train with them?
Yeah. So I haven't trained with Kayla in a while. I've trained next to her, but she keeps running from me, so I haven't been able to train with her. But like I got a round in with Dustin Poirier today, and man, he guillotined me. So my neck's a little tight from that, but it's good. You know, the things that they've accomplished is just out of this world, and you know, I look up to, you know, them a lot, and you just got to keep your head down and just keep grinding, and your day will come.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's all you gotta do, just keep going, and like you said, your time's coming.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I'm like running out of questions. I don't want to ask like stupid questions.
Oh, you're
um,
fine.
but when I think it's probably be about our last one. When does your camp end? When do you get to go home? I know you said it'd be about eight weeks, and
Yeah. So I think I'm going to do another 6 weeks here and then go back home at the end of May and get with my main coach, Chad Schaefer, and, you know, start picking his brain on, you know, telling him what I'm going to do, what I should do, what, you know, we start breaking my opponent down and get back to the American Top Team, Team Lima, my home gym. Uh, and yeah, so I got about 6 more weeks here, get home, see the family, and then just focus on the weight cut, really.
okay. Well, what was I gonna say? I'm sorry. I'm like freezing. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Yeah.
uh, I know you're looking forward to going home. That's what I was trying to get to is looking forward to going home and seeing your family and then training's the real work, but that weight cut, that's definitely the biggest thing. So, um,
Yeah.
into that. And then, of course, watching videos on your opponent and stuff and getting a game plan ready. And speaking of game plan, okay, so I do have one more question. I'm sorry. So I know fighters spend time, watching tapes from their opponent's previous fights and whatnot, and you come up with a game plan. Every fighter has a game plan. Some fighters are better at pivoting from that game plan, and if it doesn't go as planned, how do you react? Like if you're going in a certain way, you know what you're going to do, but it totally changes. How do you react to that?
Well, first of all, like that's happened before, and I've been able to adjust on the fly. You just got to know, like, if one style's not working, like changing your style up in the middle of the fight and really remembering specific things they're doing, like how they took you down. What did they take you down with? Going into the second round, you got taken down with a single leg in the first round. Well, you need to remember that and know that, you know, you can't let that happen again. And yeah, just learning to adjust on the fly, and that's what the great fighters do. They can adjust very quickly when their things aren't going their way in the cage.
That's great that you have that as they call it, fight IQ to be able to do that. Because you can definitely see on some fighters and they struggle with it still. So I
Yeah,
could never imagine doing that. I've never fought, but I love watching it and I see these people and I know they have game plans and I've been to fights and stuff, local fights, and they're able to change it where they don't and end up losing. So
yeah,
I was just
exactly.
curious, what goes through a fighter's mind when that's happening? Is it like a, oh shit, like what do I need to do? Or, I got this.
Yeah, yeah. That's where your confidence comes in, and you gotta really be confident that no matter how the fight's going, that you're gonna come out on top. So. And if you watch Paddy Pimblett this past weekend, he probably dropped the first round, but he came out and he stuck to the game plan, staying on the outside, not getting hit with big shots, and getting on top and doing what he does best is putting putting people to sleep. Whether that's submission or TKO.
That was a great fight. I mean, that right there was, yeah, that was one hell of a fight.
Yeah,
I don't think say Patty's definitely improved over the years, but I enjoyed watching that fight.
absolutely.
But I think that's all I have. I know you're at the gym, so I don't want to keep you much longer. Um, Thank you so much for getting on, and remember, y'all, the new March drop is coming, so keep an eye out for that. Links will be posted as soon as it drops. For those
Thanks.
who aren't following you already, where can we find you on social?
Instagram, Cody Durden. Facebook, Cody Durden. You know, uh, yeah, I think that's about it. And Twitter, Cody Durden. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the fight, and tune in. It's going to be a great one.
Definitely. Well, thank you again for joining me. I hope to have you on again soon and get some more designs made out for you. Enjoy the rest of your training tonight, and we'll see you in the cage.
Thank you. See you later.
Yeah,
Bye.
have a good night.